Thank you.
Go. Did I say it correctly?
You got it right.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Thank you, guys. The stage is yours.
Thank you. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here in Sofia talking to you all. I'm here with the Financial Times. Quick show of hands. Who has read a Financial Times article in the last month? Well, hey. OK. And how many of you subscribe to the FT? OK. So we're going to do a better job of that. So by the end of this presentation, you'll have a good understanding of what the FT is, how we are currently operating, and what we're doing to prepare for what is a rather uncertain future at the moment, especially for publishing. So the FT is a 130-year-old company. Been around for a long, long time. But we're doing pretty well today. We're on a strong march to 1 million subscribers. So as of today, we have around 930,000 subscribers worldwide. 720,000 of those are paying, which is fantastic for us. I'm sorry, digital only, which is fantastic. We have strong daily readership, and we operate a very strict paywall. And first and foremost, we're a publisher, but commercially, we're a subscription-based digital company. Recently, we've restructured. We have a single product organization within the FT, and we believe very strongly in empowered teams who are not dictated to in terms of milestones. We believe very firmly in outcomes, and that's how our investment is driven. And in our very recent history, we were acquired by the Nikkei. So we are a digital company, as I mentioned, and we build what we hope are fantastic products at the intersection of customer market and business and brand. So how many of you have heard of GDPR? OK. So when we talk about products, we don't just mean ft.com or our apps. One of the most recent products we built was a subject access request product. So if any of you want to know about what we know about you, we needed a quick way of doing that. So we used our enabling technologies, our APIs, all of our databases. We built a system that allowed internal people to very quickly collate that information and provide it back to you. And that's because in the marketplace, GDPR is a massive concern for all of us, and it's a massive potential risk for our brand. So we thought this is something to put a lot of effort into. And thankfully, we didn't end up doing what some of our colleagues on the west coast of America ended up doing and turning off their sites for all of our European users. So our working practices, we try and work very lean, much like the rest of you do. Build fast, build often, ship for often rather. And we use a lot of data in our product process. So we pride ourselves on being a data-driven organization. And a little bit about our product organization. We have 8 departments underneath our director of product, Big McCarthy. So I sit in FT Core. And within our department, we have 4 key platforms that support pretty much all of our main products. And it's not just product and engineering. We utilize all of the knowledge that we have across the organization to do the best job that we can. So we obviously involve editorial, advertising department. So we still generate a lot of revenue through advertising, customer service, finance, legal, etc. So FT Core, or the FT, how do we operate at a high level? So every day, we have thousands of journalists who create hundreds of articles which are annotated with metadata. And at the FT, we have a very rich ontological model. So we map the subjects and predicates and objects. So that might be Wayne Rooney used to play for Manchester United. And that relationship allows us to drive a lot of cool functionality for our audience. So you can then follow people, places, organizations mentioned in our stories and keep up to date with the latest news. So we store all of that content and metadata in 2 key databases, which powers our products. But as I said, we're a subscription-based digital company. And so we have to have processes and user journeys that allow us to take your customer data, process those. So we manage your identity, your payment details. Now we manage your consents in a GDPR-compliant fashion. But we recognize that none of our audiences are the same. None of us are the same as each other. So why should we serve you a one-size-fits-all diet of news? So we use information about your behavior on our products, what you tell us you enjoy, and we use that usage data to try and personalize the experience as much as possible, because nobody wants to get the same diet of news as the next person. And we try and keep you. we try and reduce churn as much as we can. So we market to you, we try and tell you about all of our new product launches, new content, things that will keep you engaged with the FT. But the world is changing. So we started with newspapers, we had a static website, we moved to a responsive website, we have apps, we have lots of other products, but increasingly these kind of experiences are going to become commonplace. This is one of our desks in the office. We're playing around with lots of voice devices, but clearly, as we heard in the previous presentation, blockchain, machine learning, deep learning, AI, these things are going to come and have a real impact on the publishing industry in the very near future. So how are we, as a 130-year-old media company or publisher, going to adapt to that? So we're seeing a lot of non-human interactions at the moment. So it's not just humans who are reading our content. Increasingly, we see actually a lot of B2B business. We have a lot of companies who pay us to access the rich content and metadata we have because it drives fascinating insights for them. So if you're a quantitative trading company, you might want to subscribe to actually get all of the data and metadata we have, mine that, and use that data to drive insights that you otherwise wouldn't have got. We also have machines on our back end. So we have external data sets being analyzed. The usage data, we've been using deep learning ourselves to try and build a propensity to churn model. So an ML-driven algorithm that tells us which of you is most likely to cancel your subscription in the next 30 days. We also automate the metadata annotation. So every article that's written by a journalist is analyzed by a machine. We extract all of those concepts, the people, places, organizations, and topics, and we store them, and we link them all together, and we try and expose that graph of knowledge to you, and you'll see a lot more of that coming in the next few years. Even internally, as I said, you don't want to receive the same content as your neighbor. You don't want to receive the same marketing messages, and we don't want to deliver you the same marketing messages as everybody else. So we're building products that will help us to deliver personalized messages that will hopefully keep you more engaged with the Financial Times. So what happens if that phone gets replaced by a voice device? Well, hands-free, speech recognition, voice assistants, they're all becoming more commonplace. How many of you have an Amazon Alexa on your kitchen or in your living room? Okay, a fair few. Well, those devices, those experiences pose huge challenges for publishers. So our sign-in journey, our brand identity, when you can't see an FT logo on that experience, how do you know that it's an FT piece of content you're reading or listening to? Personalization, discoverability, voice authentication, perhaps blockchain will actually help us in that space, but these new device types, these new experiences are going to have a massive impact upon the way that we build our products and the way that you engage with the Financial Times and other news organizations. So here's a quick video of something we've been playing around with. So one of the departments in our product department I mentioned is FT Labs, and they have created a little product on Google Home.
Okay, Google, talk to Make Connections.
Sure, here's the test version of Make Connections.
Welcome to Make Connections, an FT Labs game. For instructions, say help. Shall we start playing?
Yes, please.
Question 1. Shinzo Abe was mentioned in a recent article with which one of the following people? 1. Yuriko Koike. 2. Tijane Thiam. 3. Jacinda Ardern.
1.
Correct. Yuriko Koike was mentioned with Shinzo Abe in the FT article titled, How Japanese PM Shinzo Abe Won a Sweeping Electoral Triumph. Question 2. Jeremy Corbyn was mentioned in a recent article with which one of the following people? 1.
So you can see it's still got a way to go, but there is rapid progress in that space. You can tell from the awkward silence there that it's when the guy, Chris, my colleague, was asking the questions, it's not very reactive. It's quite slow. Weirdly, though, it's quite addictive. But those technologies have got a long way to go before they're going to replace kind of your mobile phone in your pocket. But we're putting a lot of time into investigating. And I'm sure a lot of you watched the Google presentation or have seen it. with the Google bot being able to call a hairdressing salon in America, and the bot makes the call. It's complete. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. So in terms of preparing for the future, FT Core is at the center of our progress. And we want to make a plug-and-play architecture that lets us get ready to adapt to change fast, because we don't really know what's going to come next. We have some ideas. We know that some of these technologies that you're going to hear about at this conference are becoming commonplace. But we wouldn't want to put our money on any one of those. So we want to create a platform that allows our product teams to easily pivot and create amazing experiences for you, whether they're bots, voice devices, social, our own internal products, or other downstream systems. And that content and the metadata and the data we have on usage trends and all the identity and payment information we have is critical. So that game that I showed you earlier, that would not be possible if we didn't have those connections. When it asks you which person was mentioned in this article, that's because we extracted that information and had it very nicely stored in our back end. So some bits of advice. APIs for all the things. We would not have been able to get ready for GDPR in the speed and efficiency that we were able to do if it wasn't for the connectivity of our internal platforms. The APIs made it super simple to connect to the systems that we use for marketing, where we store all of our internal identity information, payment information, pull it all together, and provide it back to you. So it's going to be really important for the future and to make partnerships, because other people are having great ideas, and we're not all about building everything internally. We want to partner and work with any great companies out there who have great technology and ideas. Second, we're moving increasingly from products to capabilities. We're still a product organization, but we recognize that the capabilities on the back end are that's what's going to drive our future innovation and actually enable us to prepare for the future, even if it's uncertain at the moment. So some big news. Yesterday we announced that we are moving FT Core to Sofia. Thank you. We're very excited about this move. We are moving everything from products, project management, engineering, everything will be out here in Sofia. So it's a very exciting time. We'll have our new FT office in the capital sometime in the next few months. I think I'm allowed to say it would be towards the end of the year. As I say on the slide, we are hiring. So if any of you are excited about what I was talking about here, please come and have a chat. My colleagues, Stefan Minchev and Lajazar Milev are with me today, and after this we'll probably be by one of the coffee bars if you want to come and talk about the Financial Times, opportunities we have, or just general chit-chat about publishing and the future. By all means, come and say hi. And that's all from me. Thank you very much.